And let's go back to one of our top stories now. Portraying immigrants as a source of South African problems is wrong. That's according to Youth Activist Lindokuhle Xulu. He's written an open letter to the leaders of Operation Dudula. He says the operation is engaged in activities that inspire hate crimes against immigrants in our country. There's a standoff between Operation Dudula and foreigners in Alexandra Township. Dudula is threatening to shut down all the foreign-operated shops there. Xulu joins us now to discuss his open letter. Thank you very much, Lindo, for your time here on All Angles. Now, of course, you don't agree with what Operation Dudula is doing. Just tell us a bit more context of what you say to them in your letter.
Yes. Look, I think, greetings to you and the viewers at home. I think what is important is to accept that we do have a challenge of influx immigration in our country. And we do have a problem of unregulated sort of immigrants that are coming in. And we do have a problem of undocumented, some undocumented foreigners who are being employed in some aspects of the industry or in certain industries. But the problems that we have are many as a country and cannot be solemnly blamed in foreign nationals. So what we have seen Operation Dudula doing, they have been a very confrontational, they've been mobilizing hatred against foreign nationals. And that is what we are saying it's wrong. It's wrong how? Because it creates a situation for instability. It creates violent confrontation between nationals and foreign nationals. And we are saying that although we do have problems, but these problems must be raised with the state, because the problems that we have are mainly with the law enforcement. So if as citizens of the country have problems, we must take them to the state rather than taking the law into our hands.
And of course, you have some solutions, I believe, in your letter, especially pertaining to the fact that South Africa is the largest import and export, part of the African continent in terms of international business, etc. And therefore, there is a bit for everybody to have, right? So what would be your solution in terms of what the state can do, especially to ensure that this doesn't happen, the violence between the nationals and the foreign nationals?
Well, the first thing, you have this influx immigration because of the problems of our neighboring state. There's instability in SADC and Africa. There's corruption in these countries. There's also a serious problem of dictatorship in these countries. There isn't good governance and there's no opportunities that are existing. And these people in these countries then move into our own country, in their own countries. So what we then need to do, we need to, as South Africa, play the part that we should be playing in SADC, the part that we should be playing in Africa, to make sure that there's stability in these countries as NEPAD and Africa peer review programs dictate. That is the first thing. Secondly, we need to make sure that we have tight borders, because people are coming inside the country illegally because the state has failed to secure the borders. But also we need to make sure that we have a proper enforcement, because there's no police vacuum in the country, but what exists is lack of enforcement of policies. You also need to make sure that you look into a situation where Department of Labor is able to implement the quotas, because what we've been saying is the minister now introducing new quotas as if the problem exists because there was no legislation in place, but there is legislation in place. What is not there is enforcement. But even when enforcement is there, there is a serious problem of corruption in Home Affairs, in the borders. There's a serious problem of corruption in the police. Police are taking money instead of enforcing law. So it's a problem of South Africa rather than the problem of foreign nationals. But also, the simple problem is that you have around 3% to 5% foreigners in the country who are legal, who are employed, but we have 50% problem of unemployment, 50% unemployment rate. So even if you can chase away foreign national, you still have unemployment. So you need, as the state, to look on how can you revive job opportunities. Obviously, if you want to look into that, you need to look to the secondary sector of the economy, of which is the manufacturing sector, and look how you can deal with this. But at the moment, you also need to deal decisively with people like Operation Tutula, who have been mobilizing actively a hatred against foreign nationals who have been all over the country for the past 2 months. And it is irresponsible of the state that they have not acted decisively against this, because they knew that once there are people who have even established a movement that its sole mandate is to promote hatred against foreign nationals, surely that was going to bring about the disaster that we now see start happening in Alex. So you need to bring leaders of Operation Tutula into book. You need to arrest them. You need to act decisively and swiftly against them, because what they are doing is illegal. You cannot have a country that employs mob justice against foreigners. And what is also more problematic with this movement is that it doesn't speak about documented or undocumented foreign nationals. It just says foreign nationals must leave the country, and it puts them in one blanket. And that cannot be wrong, because there are people in the country who are in the country legally, who are contributing positively into the economy of the country, who are bringing scarce skills for the purpose of skills transfer. So those people are here for the benefit of South Africans.
All right. Now, Linda, just very quickly, my last question to you. Of course, you've covered the part about the fact that our government is unable to create jobs. The president earlier this year during the State of the Nation address did say that business is also what creates jobs and not necessarily government. But I want to bring in a new debate to you. You know, they do mention that they want to deal with people who are in South Africa illegally, that is Operation Tutula. But a lot of people have been saying that this looks very skewed, because every time Operation Tutula actually goes out there to do what they say is taking the law into their own hands, they only go into the townships where black people are. And South Africa is a country where there are all types of foreign nationals living in our country. So what is your thought about that particular debate, that we always, it seems that Operation Tutula is only attacking foreign nationals who are black, when there are many other, races in South Africa who are also here from other countries?
Well, the problem is that Operation Tutula is not a new movement. It has been there, it has been existing, but now we have some characters who have just joined Operation Tutula, have been part of other structures in society like Soweto Youth Parliament. They fought for electricity, of which was a good struggle. Once that ended, they then went to put South Africa first and Operation Tutula. It seems like those characters who are there, they've been degenerating, because when they started, they were clear to say that they are fighting against illegal foreign nationals who are in the country, but they've been degenerating. Obviously, is rhetoric and is populism, because they want to use this to amass some popularity and some relevance in society, but they are actually playing with the wildfire, and they are creating something that they cannot sustain. So that thirst for populism is the one that is causing like this. But
very unfortunate. It seems we've lost Lindokuhle Xulu. He's a youth activist, and he's written an open letter to Operation Tutula, clearly stating that foreign nationals aren't the problem in our country. Let's take you to